Yeah, you know all the highways and byways for sure.
Boy, we sure did have a trip to Harrisburg. If I may, I'd like to tell this gentleman what we did. When we came back to Houston, we went through Pennsylvania, of course, is so beautiful this time of year, and we came through the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, and that's a magnificent place. And then came into a little corner of Georgia, and then into Tennessee, and then into Alabama, and then across Mississippi and across Louisiana, and came into Texas at Carthage, Texas there, and down Highway 59 to Houston. So we saw a lot of the country on this trip home.
Yeah, I was wondering, that was probably maybe one of your longest trips, in a long while back east this way.
Well, I haven't come to the Eastern Seaboard in quite some time. That's right, and there's a lot of people up there that I'd love to see, and I hope to come back up in that direction soon. There's a lot of places I can go, and we're constantly looking for different situations that would be viable to go and visit the people. So we'll hope to see you on the next time I get up that way, and I'm sure you'll be aware of it. It'll all be on the website.
I wanted to tell you, early Saturday morning, I guess she was going down to the show, and my wife come back upstairs. She says, I just seen a guy with a black cowboy hat with boots on getting in a Texas car. She said, do you think that could be him? I said, I'll bet you that it is.
Well, it was. That's right.
She said, well, I was the first guy to see first one to see the Virginian.
Were you staying there at the Capitol Plaza Hotel?
Yep, we was up on the third floor, Jim. But the wife said,
that's a great little hotel in Harrisburg, and I hardly recommend it. The Capitol Plaza Hotel, they did a great job for us and treated us wonderfully there while we were there.
Yeah, the wife said that Friday night when we got there, she said, wouldn't it be something if we were staying in the same hotel that James Drury staying in?
That's right. We were there on the first floor.
I said, no, that's not going to happen,
Hey, Gary, thanks so much. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate you calling in.
Much.
You got
Adios,
it.
Jim.
Okay, Jim, I'd like to go to another email we received. This one's from Astrid Hoos. She doesn't say where she's from, but she says, since I don't know if we'll have a heavy thunderstorm in my area, I'm writing my questions to James Drury. Please let him know that I was very pleased and excited to meet him in Hannibal, Missouri a few weeks ago. I was so excited that I forgot to ask him some questions about the Virginian, so here they are. So anyway, she says, whatever happened to the Shiloh Ranch set? Are there any pieces left? She also says, what did the Shiloh brand look like? Or was there ever one for real on any horse or cattle? And then the third one is, I was wondering about the character of the Virginian. How much was taken for the novel by Owen Wister, and what was required by the production company? Were you able to put some of your own character traits you felt the Virginian should have? Could you maybe name some of them? I am again very thankful you make yourself available to old fans of the show. Astrid.
Well, thank you, Astrid. Try to remember your questions here. The Shiloh set no longer exists, as far as I know. I believe it's been absorbed into the Universal City Tour, and it's probably a parking lot for all the numerous fans that come to take that tour at Universal. The set was built on a corner of the back lot. It was down in a kind of a hollow, and we had a man-made berm, a big earthen dike that was erected at one end of this area, and was covered with. It grew grass, of course, and it was covered with grass. Just looked like another hill, but it actually masked us off from the Hollywood Freeway, which went right past our set about maybe 300 yards on the other side of where we were shooting. And that's where the ranch house and the bunkhouse and the barn and the round pen and all the ranch atmosphere and accoutrements were kept, and we did all of our shooting there while we were in production. And of course, like any movie set, when the show is over, or the movie's over, or the television show is over, they immediately move on with those sets and build them into something else, because motion picture business tries to be as frugal as they can in their construction, so whatever pieces or elements they can use somewhere else, they'll use. They can't use them, they're destroyed, and something else is built. So it passed along as the show passed away, or went out of production, I should say. The set no longer was of use. I guess they may have used it on the tour for a while, but I don't believe they have any part of it left now.
Listen, I need to say, first of all, that we're at the top of the hour. Actually, we're a minute past, and you're listening live on KCAA Loma Linda and KTAE Cameron Temple. It's the DNA Radio Show. Vince Daniels here, along with Paul Andrews, and our very special guest, I should say, we always say special guest, the special guest star, James Drury, TV's Virginian, and really, you say the Virginian, this wasn't just something that came along in 1962. This goes back to 1902.
Yes, it does.
And the mere fact that 60 years after this book comes out, you're asked to play, something that was such a classic, a literary classic. I can't imagine what that did to you.
Well, that's to answer her next question, which I believe was how much of my character was I able to create and how much came from the show. Virtually everything that's in the Virginian's character, in the book, I tried to include in the character that I developed for the television version. We were given pretty free rein in what we wanted to include and include in the backstory. The backstory is an imaginary story, by the way, folks, that you create with any character you play, where you fill your mind with a set of circumstances that the character must have endured during his entire life, which forges his character and actually makes him what he is. And I was fortunate to have a maternal grandfather, John Hezekiah Crawford, who had come west with a wagon train to Oregon, and he told me about the Indian fights and all the different things that he had to endure on that trip across the Oregon Trail, and I remembered them and cherished them. And his character, more than anything else, was what I used as a model for the Virginian. The character of my grandfather, who was a rancher and a cattleman and a dirt farmer, and he'd been in the logging field and cut down trees. He could do anything and fix anything and make anything out of anything. He was one of the original pioneers who could make things work and make things happen and grow great crops and fruits and vegetables. He was good with everything on the ground, and I'd say he was a great agriculturalist because he could grow anything from wheat to apples, and he did successfully in the Willamette Valley, where he settled there in Oregon. So that was a great thing to have him as a grandfather.
Yeah, what a tribute. Let's talk to Anna Jean in West Virginia. Anna Jean, you're on the DNA Radio Show with James Drury. Anna Jean?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Anna Jean. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, doing well, thank you.
Okay. What my question was, how long did Judge Garth play in the Virginian?
I think for 3 seasons, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 shows?
No, 3 seasons.
3 seasons of shows. We did, in the first 2 years, we did 60 shows, 60 90-minute shows, which seems hard to believe when you look back at it, but we did. We have it on film to prove it.
Okay. Now, how could I obtain a copy of that one show, Big Image, Little Man?
Well, you have to buy a box set that contains that show. I'm not sure exactly where it occurs, but if you'll check with Karen Lindsay at the website, I'm sure she can tell you and direct you in the right direction. And yeah, I'm not sure that show's been released yet.
No, that's in the 3rd season.
It's in the 3rd season. All right. Well, then it has not been released yet.